Well, I'm Alan Dale from Gale Force Winds. It's great to be here at the Atlantic Canadian Aerospace Defence Association MASS show. Of course, MASS is the Maritime Arctic Safety and Security 2025 show. Thank you to our good friends at the Ship Stop Here initiative. They brought this conversation to life. They understand that all the voices matter. We are at the gateway to the Arctic right here, and I can't wait to get into the conversation, the people that are making a difference. And on that note, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do.
Hello, everybody. My name is Colin Cooke, and I'm one of the partners at Polaris Advantage, which is a brand new consulting group specialized and focused on the maritime sector in Canada. One of the things that we recognize, my partner Joanna Davies and I, is that there is no national consulting group that is focused on the marine sector. Okay. And there are defense groups, there are aerospace groups, there are all sorts of others, but there's nobody really trying to support companies and governments in the marine sector.
And specifically in that space, talk to me about your background coming into that, Colin.
So my background is I founded and ran the Canadian Marine Industries and Shipbuilding Association for the last 8 years.
Right.
So as such, was a neutral voice for the sector to government and trying to bring all the different parties together. And increasingly being part of that voice for Canadian companies going abroad. I left that organization back in the late winter, and along with my colleague, who comes with a 30-year background in the Royal Canadian Navy, plus a number of years in the defense sector, the two of us figured it's time to support Canadian companies in a Team Canada fashion.
Yeah, so you found that niche, right? I mean, you saw it from the association side. Joanna would have witnessed that both from being in uniform and in the sector working. Right. Fantastic that you found that opportunity. What does that perfect client look like for you, Colin? Like, who would that be?
So we're a brand new group. And initially we're looking at two things. We're looking at Canadian companies helping turbocharge them, if you will.
Right.
They might be in one region of Canada, they need some help with Ottawa, or they need some help with a different part of the country.
Right.
It could be an East Coast company looking to go to the West Coast. It could be a Canadian company that is overly reliant on the United States, for example, and wants to diversify, look at opportunities in Europe. Again, that's something where we can provide some assistance. Equally interesting is we have quite a few international companies that want to come to Canada, not just to sell stuff, but to be part of our ecosystem, to set up, to be a part of us, to develop operations, to develop facilities. We'd be happy to help them as well because, again, they're looking at this great big landmass of Canada. There are all sorts of different things that are happening across the country. We can help facilitate that. So that's job one.
And it's an exciting time, of course, to be in this conversation in Canada at the moment.
Absolutely. Again, putting the organization together, putting the company together, there is no better time.
Right.
Right now, the Team Canada mentality, the how are we going to do things differently, better, and yet together is critical.
Yeah, no, it sounds to me like you guys have hit the mark right at the exact right moment, which is great, and a great collaboration between you and Joanna to get this thing off the ground. You had mentioned even assisting governments sort of navigate the whole ecosystem. Talk to me about that.
So that's very much part of the plan as well. There are, for example, a provincial government is really strong in their own jurisdiction.
Yeah.
But as those trade barriers come down, or as they're trying to assist their companies spread across the country, they may not have the networks and the facilities and whatnot. So we're currently exploring exactly that with one provincial entity who says, frankly, they're great in their own province. And as soon as they get away from their province, they don't have the capacity. So can you help? And of course our answer is yes.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, that too is a nice little niche as well, because you're right, the provinces are all great at what they do, not always necessarily have a specific lens on what's happening in the marine defense sector at the moment, right?
And because Canada's the size it is, for the longest time, back in my association days, I've seen that where you could have the greatest solution since sliced bread in your region, and the next region over, they've never heard of you.
Right.
And that's just a function of Canada. We're so big, so narrow, so wide. The north is so far away. we don't necessarily think of sharing well.
Right.
And so anything that we can do to help the regions, whether it's a province, whether it's an RDA or a regional development agency, whether it's whatever,
Right.
to make for a stronger Canada, we all win.
Right. Mass, so far, how's it been for you?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
And, you know, we understand from Victoria that it is the 1 week of summer and this is it, and it's awesome. It's almost terrible to be sitting in a dark ballroom, but good people, good information, good show. I intend to come next year for longer.
Good. Well, that's Polaris Advantage in a nutshell. Colin and Joanna bringing a very unique service to the ecosystem. I like what you're doing. It's fantastic. I know you well, Colin, over the years, and I certainly know Joanna well. I can tell you with these folks on your team, you'll be well served. So thanks for being on the conversation.
Thank you very much.